Hello, welcome to the channel. So great to have you here while we journey through the Two Towers, philosophising. And remember to like and subscribe and comment, and let's go.
First needs to keep these strings.
Who are you?
Mustn't ask us about its business.
Gandalf told me you were one of the river folk.
The cold be hard and environment cold be travelers far from home.
He said your life was a sad story.
They do not see what lies ahead when sun has failed and moon is dead.
You were not so very different from a hobbit once, were you, Sméagol?
What did you call me?
That was your name once, wasn't it? A long time ago.
My name.
Ah! Black Riders!
Hide! Hide!
Come on, Frodo! Come on! I thought they were dead!
Dead? No, you cannot kill them. No.
Violence! Race on worlds!
They are calling for it. They are calling for their precious.
Frodo! It's alright.
Hurry, hobbits. The Black Gate is very close.
Orc blood. These are strange tracks.
The air's so close in here.
This forest is old. Very old. The trees are speaking to each other.
Jimmy.
Belly racks. The elves began it. Waking up the trees. Teaching them to speak.
Talking trees. What do trees have to talk about?
Aragorn nad no ennas.
Okay.
The white wizard approaches.
Do not let him speak. He will put a spell on us. We must be quick.
You are tracking the footsteps of two young hobbits.
Where are they?
They passed this way the day before yesterday. They met someone they did not expect. Does that comfort you?
Who are you? Show yourself! Forgive me. I mistook you for Saruman.
I am Saruman. Rather Saruman as you should have been.
You fell.
Through fire and water. From the lowest dungeon to the highest peak, I fought with the bow of the mortals. Until at last I threw down my enemy and smote his ruin upon the mountainside. Darkness took me, and I strayed out of thought and time. The stars wheeled overhead, and every day was as long as a life age of the earth. I've been sent back until my task is done. Gandalf. That was what they should call me. Gandalf the Grey. Gandalf. I am Gandalf the White. And I come back to you now, at the turn of the tide. One stage of your journey is over, another begins. We must travel to Edoras with all speed. Edoras? That is no short distance.
We hear of trouble in Rohan. It goes ill with the king.
Yes, and it will not be easily cured. A great power has been sleeping here for many long years. The coming of Merry and Pippin will be like the falling of small stones that starts an avalanche in the mountains.
In one thing you have not changed, dear friend.
Hmm?
You still speak in riddles.
That is one of the bearers. Unless my eyes are cheated by some spell.
Shadowfax is the lord of all horses, and has been my friend through many dangers. Hey, Sauron, I say, upon your head of golden praise the crown you bore like life. Such beautiful verse.
Is it much further?
Don't be hasty. You might call it far, perhaps. See, little shirlings. Heed no mighty voice. Sleep till morning light. The veiling shadow that glides in the east takes shape. Sauron will suffer no rival. From the summit of Barad-dûr, his eye watches ceaselessly. But he is not so mighty yet that he is above fear. Doubt ever gnaws at him. The rumor has reached her. The heir of Numenor still lives. Sauron fears you, Aragorn. He fears what you'll ever become. And so he'll strike hard and fast to the will of men.
For blood, salt of Mordor. Master says you're showing the way into Mordor. So good Sméagol does. Master says so.
I did. Master's desert. Can I get past that? Look. Again. It's open. I can see a way down. Sam, no! Master! You're not asking you to come with me, Sam. I know, Mr. Frost. I doubt even these elvish cloaks will hide us in there.
No! No! No, Master! They got you! They got you! No, don't take it to him! He wants the precious. Always, he's looking for it. But we mustn't let him have it. Only this other way. Secret, the dark way.
Why haven't you spoken of this before?
Because Master did not ask.
He's up to something. Are you saying there's another way into Mordor?
Yes. There's a path and some stairs. Then, tunnel.
Hello?
Treebeard, I had the loveliest dream last night.
Did you hear that? There it is again. Something's not right here. You just said something tree-ish.
No, I didn't. I was just stretching.
You're taller.
Who?
You?
Then what?
Than me.
I've always been taller than you.
Pip. Everyone knows. I'm the tall one. You're the short one.
Please, Mary. You're what? 3'6" at the most? Whereas me, I'm pushing 3'7". 3'8".
Look at me! Oh, I've got a leg!
Mary!
Agree with you. You should not be waking. Eat earth, dig deep. Drink water. Gold. No few of us Ents left to manage them.
Why are there so few of you when you've lived so long? Are there any children?
Rather, there have been no endings for a terrible long count of years.
Why's that?
We lost the Ent wives.
Oh, I'm sorry. How did they die?
I know. We lost them. And now we cannot find them.
Okay, so we started this portion of the film off with Frodo stroking the ring and being caught by Gollum, and Gollum speaking in riddles. So, yeah, what's your thoughts about that?
First thought I had was of the ring as a transitional object, which is a concept in psychotherapy associated with Donald Winnicott, who refers to young children, babies really, who will often take on a comforter like a teddy bear or a blanket, which helps them manage the separation, often from the mother, not always, of course, and in a way is a substitute for the mother and provides comfort in her absence. And we know lots of young children will have a special toy that they take with them everywhere, even in the mother's presence, actually. But the idea of the transitional object is that it's a stage between full dependency on the mother, that's the main caregiver, I suppose, and independence. So it's a transition from dependence to independence. It reminded me a bit of that because partly he's stroking it while he's asleep in a slightly infantile way. It's a little bit like he's regressed in that scene. Partly because he is away from home still, and even further from home now than he has been before. Partly because, as far as he knows, Gandalf has disappeared, so he doesn't have other elder figures around, and he's been detached from the other members of the Fellowship. And his only company is Sam and Gollum at this point. Of course, Sam is dependable, but he's not an older figure. And Gollum, as we spoke about last time, isn't really necessarily to be trusted, although we don't know one way or the other. So it's quite interesting for me that in a way there's something a little bit regressive in this moment of Frodo with the ring. In a previous moment early on in the film, we had him dreaming as well. And both here and there, we have a sense of, or at least I have a sense of, Frodo's unconscious kind of getting the better of him in some way. We've also had him fall into the marshes in the previous scene as well. So it's not exactly as if his resolve has weakened, but at the same time, it's as if his psyche is searching for sources of comfort, if not strength. And obviously, to treat the ring in that way is an odd choice, because the ring may be a lot of things, but the source of comfort is probably not one. I mean, yes, it affords power and strength, but its power and strength are highly ambivalent. You know, it can backfire on the person who has it in their charge. So I did wonder about that. And of course, later in the piece we watched, we do get the return of Gandalf as well, as if answering the call for some parental presence to reassert itself. I mean, Aragorn is never quite parental or avuncular in the way that Gandalf is vis-a-vis Frodo. Aragorn may be a role model to Frodo, but he never really feels like, certainly not like a father figure. He doesn't feel like that. Maybe just about an older brother figure, but not really. He seems to come from a different zone, I suppose. So yeah, I think there was all of that going on there.
You think with Frodo and Aragorn, the relationship is more kingly, in the sense that Aragorn is more of a authoritative figure?
Yes, I'd say more like role model. Maybe Kingsley's. He's a friendly authority figure, but he's not a parental figure, I think. There's all of that going on. And of course, the danger, because the way he strokes the ring, there's also something a little, just a tiny bit prurient or salacious about it. You know, he's alone sort of in bed with it. There's, it's not sexual, but there's just something ever so slight. I mean, very early on, you talked about the addictive quality of the ring. There's something ever so slightly unpleasant about it too, I think, as well in that moment.
And Gollum knows exactly what's going on.
Gollum knows what's going on, because for all of Gollum's faults, he is sort of aware of what's happening. And I think particularly in this phase of the film, having seen Gollum on the marshland and now singing his ditties and couplets and so on, I think, to me, again, there's a strong Shakespearean reference, this time to the fool in King Lear, on the heath with King Lear. A kind of voice of mad wisdom or wisdom wrapped up in the guise of a trickster or fool in some way. So for me, there was quite a lot of that he's not quite he's a little bit like Feste in Twelfth Night, or As You Like It, the clown, but he's a bit more like the fool in King Lear, sort of giving advice, but in a riddling manner. But as ever with Gollum, you never quite know where you stand or what his intent is, and whether to take his advice, at face value, or to think of it as a means of manipulation in some way. But particularly the kind of the sing-song quality reminded me of, the fool in King Lear.
And we see a change in Gollum when he's told his name.
Yeah, and there's a period later on where we also have Gandalf hearing his name repeated back to him as well. So there's, we could probably have a separate episode about names in general, because names are rich, they're evocative, they're often a result of lineage in some way. People often have nicknames or two names. So Aragorn and Strider would be an example. And here we have Gollum and Sméagol. I'm sure people will have pointed out that they're semi-anagrams, those two words. And as with Gandalf, when he hears his name, so Sméagol has an experience of pleasant recognition and recollection, as if a bit of identity is being restored to himself in having his name spoken of and acknowledged. In the case of Gollum, that's particularly poignant, I think, because I think, broadly speaking, he's reviled by everybody he comes across because there is something so repulsive about him. So then to be associated with a name that seems to belong to him before he was so reviled seems to build him up a little bit again. And looks truly grateful, actually, to Frodo for remembering and recalling it. But as that scene was taking place, and as the scene later with Gandalf was taking place, and we heard his name being used, it reminded me of two kind of philosophical theories of the name. One really comes from, it's not really philosophical actually, it's more from the tradition of magic, which says that somebody's name contains a particular resonance for them. So it's not just any old word, it seems to vibrate somehow with the essence of the person whose name it is, as if part of the actual character or inner character or self of that person is contained. So your name is Miri. Miri at one level is just a word. At another level, it might contain something profound or essential about you. So that's almost like a magical connection between you and your name. Now, with both Gandalf and Sméagol, as he now is, in this phase of the film, we don't quite get the sense of the name as having that magical reference, but we do get the sense of identity and selfhood being somehow grounded in a name. Like you know who you are once your name is in play. In a way you don't quite when your name isn't in play. So for that brief period when Gandalf doesn't know his name, he's different from when he does. He seems to assume his own identity more once he's named by Frodo, just as Sméagol assumes his identity a little bit more when he is reminded of that name. In fact, it's slightly humanizing. There's a brief moment there where Sméagol is less Gollum-like and actually a little bit sympathetic as a character and seems to have matured, or actually in a way gone back in time to a time when he was more mature than he is now.
Yeah.
So there is that whole tradition of the name having magical properties, containing an essence of somebody. It's a tiny bit like voodoo, like if somebody's clothes are supposed to contain the essence of them, or a lock of hair, for example. These are not just accidental, extraneous parts of somebody, but they are bearers of their inner self. So that's one whole tradition. There's another whole tradition which says, well, a name is just it's a word. And the name Miri, just like the name Robert, doesn't belong exclusively to you. There are other Miris and Miriams in the world, and there are other Roberts in the world. So our ownership over that name is highly questionable. And in the work of this philosopher, I'm very interested in, Jacques Derrida, he's written a lot about the name and the notion of the proper name. We call a proper name Miri or Robert, that's a proper name. The word proper there, meaning proper as in property, it's what is owned by us. You own Miri, I own Robert. But of course, the fact that other people are called those names means instantly we're not owners of those names. In a certain sense, they're like any bit of language that can be quoted, like, notebook. I can say the word notebook as much as I want to, just as anybody else can, because nobody has the rights over that name. There's no over that word, notebook. Similarly, there's no copyright over the name Miri.
Yeah, and we're named after people as well.
Yeah, and so that's another interesting facet. Now, neither Gollum, Sméagol, nor Gandalf, as far as I've picked up so far, are named after anybody else. But Aragorn is very much a name that is vested with his own lineage, because he's son of Arathorn.
Arathorn,
Yeah. Which not only rhymes, but contains the prefix, the same prefix, the Ara prefix, which presumably in Tolkien's linguistic world has a significance of some kind. And that obviously reminds us in any case that language systems work a bit like biological systems. We talk about the roots of words and even branches of language. So there's a real, there is a real sense in which names are part of a genealogy anyway. But actually, they're also just words too, because every word is part of a genealogy. You know, I use the word notebook. That note and book both come from preceding genealogy in terms of kind of linguistic history. So yeah, there's a lot going on in those. I mean, and we know in any case, just if we pull back, that the whole universe of Tolkien is about giving names to things and unusual names. And like, this is a universe of capital letters.
Yeah.
You know, this is not a lowercase world. This is an uppercase world that we're nearly always in.